Derrick James, the trainer of Errol Spence Jr., also the trainer of Ryan Garcia, Frank Martin, Jamel Charlo. I always held him in high regards. I always thought he was a very good trainer. I actually think Derrick James is an excellent trainer. And going into this fight with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, um, Derrick James, he gives off kind of reluctant vibes in a sense when it comes to this fight with Errol Spence and Bud. It's almost like he gets so irritated when you bring up Terence Crawford. If you watch a lot of Derrick James pre-fight interviews, like when it came to like Sean Porter or any other fighter, Derrick James is much more relaxed. He wasn't kind of like trying to make everybody believe, Errol will do this, he'll do that, he'll damage you, he'll do this, they'll do this, that, and the third, right? Because I guess they felt like, hey, the dudes Errol going up against, they don't need to do all that because Errol got it, But for some reason, when it come to Terence Crawford, bro, and when it come to Bud, Derrick James gets highly irritated. I'm not sure he really likes Terence Crawford too much, man, on a personal level. I mean, yeah, they got to get up there on the press conferences and say whatever they need to say, especially after that little altercation they had, a little miscommunication where, it looked like Bud was trying to press him and all of that. And Derrick James just like, it was just a miscommunication of words. I think that's all that was. And then Derrick James said, "You trying to test me like I'm some punk? I got on the suit." That was funny. That was funny. But he gets highly agitated every time you bring up Terence Crawford. I don't know if it's because a lot of boxers, a lot of pros or legends, they picking Bud to win, or I don't know what it is, but he just gets really defensive when you bring up Terence Crawford. And he says he got to fight. He's been saying this for a while too. He's been saying that Bud is going to have to fight Spence. He's going to have to sit there and fight. And I told y'all, man, that I think this is a psychological game. It's just like they want him to stand there. They want Bud to stand there and trade it out with Errol Spence because that gives Errol Spence the advantage. So, from the words of Derrick, he says the Crawford will have to fight Spence because he won't get a cheap win by running around the ring, landing a punch here and there, and playing keep away all night. That's not going to work. This isn't Omaha, Nebraska. If Crawford wants to win, he's going to need to stand in the pocket and brawl with Spence and try and out-tough him the best he can. If Crawford isn't cut out for it, he gets picked apart and gets stopped. Pretty much what Derrick James is saying. I disagree highly with that. I disagree with that. Now, they want Bud to stand there. They want Terence Crawford to stand there in the pocket and get punched on and not move around, kind of like old guys. They want him to stay there like Mikey Garcia and Yordan Zugas, right? That plays into Errol Spence's head. But what they fail to realize is that also can play into Terence Crawford's head as well. I'm not sure if Derrick James realizes the caliber of opponent that Bud is. And now, I put the fire to Bud's ass on a few videos, but that's still my guy. I'm still rooting for Terence Crawford. Ain't shit changed. Ain't gonna change. You know what I mean? But he's been kind of aggravated with that comment he made and all of that stuff. But don't take nothing away from that man. But he's a bad boy, and Derrick James knows it. They all know it. They know he's a bad boy. So what they're trying to do is, by putting that little beacon out there, like, yeah, he's going to have to stand there. That's the only way you're going to win if you stand there with Bud, with Errol. It's not the only way he's going to win. It's not the only way he can win. I already spoke about this. There's multiple ways he can win. Multiple ways. He can win. I think he can beat Errol by boxing him, and I also think he could beat him by trading with him in spurts. Not standing there the whole round just banging it out with him, but know when to get in and know when to get out. All right, so that's the way he wins. That's how he's gonna win. I think Errol got one way to win, which is to pound the shit out of and break Bud down to a weakling. And that's the only thing he got. And in order for him to really break Bud down, he's gonna have to land a multitude, a whole bunch of punches and bunches and make it count. And I see a mistake or opening that Bud is gonna. And people can say Terence Crawford starts off slow. What if he does? Maybe that's just how he's comfortable fighting. They say he's going to start off fast, and you want him to start off fast so he can make a mistake. That's what that is. If he starts off slow and talk about he's analyzing, he's not gonna have time to analyze Errol because Errol gonna be in his face. Well, here's the problem with that. While if Errol puts extreme pressure on him while he's trying to what they call download data, that is going to leave room for Errol Spence to make some serious errors, and that's a mistake. That's going to be a big mistake for Errol Spence. Errol Spence is going to have to be just as patient as Terence Crawford. He's going to have to be just as patient because if he's not, he's going to get hurt probably earlier than I expect. All right, so longevity is the key, man. So Errol just gonna have to take it easy, man. You know what I'm saying? I know, but it's not gonna happen. Errol is primed, and he's a machine, and he is primed to push forward and press you. That's just what it is. He's already programmed to do that. So that's why you gotta listen to Terence Crawford when he talks. When he says, "I'm gonna reel him in." When he says that is him saying he's going to lure Errol Spence into some a body attack, and that's when he is going to catch Errol, when he lures him in to do what he does best. That is what's going to happen, and that's what's going to make it such a beautiful thing to watch, because Bud is like, okay, well, everybody know that this guy Errol Spence, his bread and butter is that body work. And what did Bud say when they had that meetup in Texas? What was it, Texas at the arena a few years back? He said, try that body shot shit with me. He pretty much telling Errol Spence, he's also playing his own psychological game. Even from back then, that was a psychological game. That's like he telling Errol, look, try that body shot shit if you want to. Pretty much saying, come on, bring it in. I got something for you. As soon as you try it, I got you. Right? And that also will throw Errol Spence off if he's like, okay, well, damn, I got to expect something that Bud got waiting for me, so let me just outbox a little bit. And then Terence Crawford will probably try to press a little bit or try to outbox him back, and then, Errol fall back on points. You know what I'm saying? So it's, this boxing thing it's a lot of psychological shit that goes on with it, man. And a lot of that psychological stuff that goes on outside of the ring, the results of it will show in the ring. It's crazy. And Derrick James is definitely worried. He's highly emotional. I think, to be honest, he says all of that other stuff about, he started talking about Bud, Errol breaks bones and ribs. That's his way of coping. That's a coping mechanism for Derrick James to put more belief in himself than he really got in Errol. That's what I think. Not to take nothing away from his body of work. I think he does a phenomenal job with Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo, and I think he would do a good job with Ryan Garcia as well and Frank Martin. But like we all say, there's levels to it, man. Some people are just born with the gift. Some people have to learn the gift. And I think Terence Crawford is just a highly more gifted dude than Errol Spence. And I think Derrick James knows this, man. So he has to try to make himself, psych himself to believe that my boy is an eye snatcher. He's a bone collector, and that's what's gonna happen to Bud. Yeah. It's revving him up. But we know exactly what's gonna happen on the 29th, execution date, and we will see. Almost 2 weeks away. It's coming. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about Derrick James and his comments about Terence Crawford and how he must fight Errol, and how Errol breaks bones and breaks ribs and noses and eyes and everything. And Terence Crawford can't handle the pressure. If he could, if he can't, he gets stopped. It's Rebel Like Boxing. Drop a comment. I wanted to get the feedback from everybody. Let me know how you feel about this. Catch y'all later.